My name is George Edwards, and I'm the author of Why the Electoral College is Bad for America. And I'd like to tell you about my book. For every other candidate in America, we declare the candidate who receives the most votes as the winner. The election of the president is a different matter, however. Instead of direct election, we use the Electoral College. Now I'll explain how the Electoral College works and pay particular attention to the problems it caused in the 2020 presidential election. Then I explain how the Electoral College violates the central tenet in democratic theory, which is equality in voting, and allows the candidate winning the most votes to lose the election, as last happened in both 2000 and 2016. So it's a recent phenomenon. I explain how the Electoral College translates popular votes into electoral votes, including how it allows the candidate who receives only a plurality of the vote in a state to win all of the state's electoral votes, and how the allocation of electoral votes among the states gives the voters in some states more influence in determining an electoral vote than those in other states, and how, when no candidate receives a majority of the electoral vote, the House of Representatives selects the president. In this case, every state has one vote, making it possible for the 7 smallest states with a combined population of about 5.6 million to outvote the 6 largest states with a combined population of 133 million. This is the most egregious violation of democratic principles in American politics. So there's no question that the Electoral College violates political equality, favoring some citizens over others, depending solely upon the state in which they cast their vote for president. So the question for us is, can we reconcile such a selection system with the idea and the ideal of political equality, one of the most deeply ingrained of democratic principles? Does the Electoral College provide us compensations for violating political equality? Now, I explore all the leading justifications for the Electoral College. First, should we simply defer to the wisdom of the framers? And I show that they had no theory or coherent design for the Electoral College. Instead, they had a wide range of goals, all of which are now irrelevant. Moreover, the Electoral College doesn't work at all as the framers intended. Well, does the Electoral College prevent tyranny of the majority? No, the Electoral College allows a minority to select a president, so it provides the potential for tyranny of the minority. Well, is the Electoral College an essential element of American federalism? Well, no. The Electoral College doesn't enhance the power or sovereignty of the states. Well, does the Electoral College balance local and national interests, protecting small states from majoritarian politics? Well, small states already have extra power because of their representation in the Senate and other features of the Constitution. I also show that the Electoral College forces candidates to ignore small states, and many other states as well, even large states such as California and Texas, because they're not competitive. Well, does the Electoral College promote national harmony by ensuring that the winning candidate obtains concurrent majorities from all around the country? And the answer is no. Candidates of both parties virtually ignore large sections of the country in their campaigns, and they tend to win with regional support. Do candidates that win only because of the Electoral College receive majority support across various social strata? I show in detail that they do not. Well, what would campaigning look like if we didn't have the Electoral College? If we had direct election of the president, for example. In a direct election, every vote counts. So candidates would have an incentive to appeal to all voters in all states, and not just those strategically located in swing states. So presidential candidates would be much more attentive to small states and minorities than they are now. Direct election would also stimulate state party building efforts of the weaker party, and especially in the less competitive states. And that's a good thing. And it would encourage parties to campaign actively. Now, increased mobilization efforts would increase voter turnout levels, and people are more likely to vote if they think their vote matters, if the whole country is competitive. Moreover, voters would be better informed about the candidates when the candidates campaign for their votes. Increased competition across the nation under direct election would also reduce the power of sectionalism in politics and encourage candidates to focus their campaigns on the entire nation. Well, how would direct election affect voter fraud? Well, we know that the Electoral College magnifies the consequences of fraud and thus creates incentive for fraud, because stealing only a few votes can change the outcome an entire state. So direct election would remove those incentives because we wouldn't be voting by state. In sum, the Electoral College violates basic democratic principles and doesn't offer the country benefits to compensate for this disadvantage. Ironically, claims of advantages of the Electoral College typically turn out to be advantages of direct election of the president. Well, I thank you for listening to this presentation, and I hope you enjoy reading Why the Electoral College is Bad for America.